Hi, I'm Nick, and welcome to Abro Disc Golf. I'm starting this channel to share my experience as I design my first disc golf discs. A little about me: my background is in engineering, and I actually have a master's degree in fluid dynamics simulation. I want to make some weird discs and see how they fly, and I'll share my experience with you along the way. Right now I'm thinking of a purpose-built utility disc, but if you have any thoughts, leave a comment and let me know. Also, nothing in this channel is engineering advice. With that out of the way, let's get into it.
Discs are made with an injection molding machine, so I decided to build one. I got the design from preciousplastic.com, but I had to modify it a fair bit. Also, shout out to Jesse at Trash Panda. He built a very similar version of this machine, and I learned a lot watching his videos. If you haven't already, I'd highly recommend checking out his channel. This is the injection machine so far, mostly just the frame, and I also have this handle, which will be how I inject the plastic in. Barrel will go here. With the plunger, which slides in perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and mount these. Now you might be wondering, how does an injection molding machine work? Basically, you melt plastic in some sort of barrel, and then you push all that plastic into a mold, and the mold would be the shape of whatever you're trying to make. And then once it cools down, you take it out of the mold, and you got your part. It's in. Looks not too bad. A little bit DIY, but it's okay. And it seems pretty sturdy. The only thing that's shaking is actually the frame to the very base. I'm happy with that, and let's give it a shot. So here I am just testing out the whole assembly. Seems to work pretty well. The only problem is when I take the plunger out, it doesn't really have anywhere to sit, and it just keeps wanting to fall over. So I'm going to make a little holder for that. So I'm just taking a piece of pipe, the same material I used to make the barrel, threading it, and then I'm going to cut it off and put it in a flange and mount that to the frame. There we go, not too bad. Yeah, it fits in there pretty well now. It doesn't move around, so I'm happy with that. The plastic I'm starting with is polypropylene. I'm sure you can find some in your kitchen. It's a recycling symbol number 5. I also read some discs are made of polypropylene, so that's why I'm using it. And its melting temperature is around 220 degrees Celsius. To heat it up to that temperature, I'm going to use some heater bands. Basically, these are just electrical heaters that fit around the barrel, and then I will hook them up to a temperature controller and set it to 220 degrees. The heater bands I got say 380 watts, but after measuring the resistance, they're about 160 watts. I guess that's what I get for buying cheap ones from Amazon. Oh well. So I'm going to put 5 of them on this barrel. They also don't quite fit the barrel, so I made these aluminum couplings that are going to fit between the two. Aluminum's a good heat conductor, so I'm hoping that's all I'll need. I think that's enough explaining, so let's hook all this up and test it out. As luck would have it, the company I used to work for was throwing the heater box out, so I took it home and it seemed to be working. So I hooked all the heaters up to it and just setting it to 220 degrees, and it seems to be working fine. You can also buy heater controllers online for pretty cheap, but it was just nice that this one was already set up and running. It's been heating up for about 15 minutes now and getting to the temperature I have it set at. The lower part is a lot lower temperature, which is concerning. It's only about 100 degrees compared to 180, so I'm wondering if it's going to heat up. Well, I put some plastic in the barrel, waited 10 minutes, and this is the result. It's still a little bit wet there, but anything lower is just super hard. So I think, the barrel was hot, but because I guess because I put Teflon here as well, this piece wasn't hot, and so the plastic was just cold in there. So I think what I'm going to do for now is hook this onto the mold and then just screw it all in at once, and I'll get a cap for this for the meantime, so that
material something out of it, like it is right now. It's still hot, hey? Yeah, look at that. I just took these two pieces apart, and there's still pellets in it, so it definitely wasn't hot enough. But this part is completely melted, so I think that's the problem, and I hope that by changing this up, I'll fix it.
Well, plastic's coming out now, and it seems melted, so I think it's working. There's still a lot of work to do, though. I have to make a mold and, validate the whole machine, so I'm going to take a little break, maybe play some disc golf, and see you in another video.